Okay, so go ahead and introduce yourself for us, bud.
My name is Ben Haag. I am 5'9" and a half, 5'10". Currently, I weigh 200 pounds. I am prepping for UFE World Show. It's in Toronto. It's a pro show, a natural pro show, where people from all over different countries, there's usually people from Australia, Great Britain, Paris, Africa, Canada, USA, basically all over the world as pertaining to the name of the show, UFE Worlds. It is like I said, it's a natural pro show. I'm 1 week out for that. 1 week and 2 days, I think. It's on a Sunday, a little weird day, but so it's not this. Today is Friday, and it's next weekend. So, yeah, just a little bit over a week out. I started at 220 pounds. At about 15 weeks out is when I started dieting down, and like I said, I'm at 200 now. So, looking to maybe drop another pound or so, maybe within the next week. And then, of course, when I cut my water, that'll take me down a little bit more.
Yeah, because you're drinking how much water now, bud?
I'm drinking about like 3 to 4 gallons a day right now. Seems like a lot, I guess, to other people, but I'm just used to it. I chug a lot of water to just kind of, a lot of tea and a lot of water to keep the hunger at bay.
So go ahead and tell us about your workout, what type of workout it was, and the movements and what you like about each movement.
Yeah. Let's see. We started out with, so right now, I guess today, kind of, I started my week out lifting routine. Normally my routine's much different than this, but about a week out, I switch into like my show prep routines, and which is basically, at this point, I'm not going to gain any more size. I'm not going to do anything like that, obviously, with being so depleted. So basically, every day I do my workout is I hit every body part. I do basically a workout for every body part just to get high rep, lightweight, and just get a really good pump within each muscle category. And let's see, I started with flat dumbbell press. With that, I like the dumbbell press just because you're able to go with your natural movement as far as your joints and tendons. You can get a good squeeze in the middle of your chest by doing that. Let's see. Next, I did seated cable roll. That one, again, it's just you can get a good pinch in the middle of your back by using it. All of these workouts, like I said, lightweight. So, don't make fun of my weights when you see the video. I know they're light. It's not the purpose. The purpose is just to get blood in each muscle, make it work, make it move, make it tighten up a little bit. So the seated cable rolls, I like those because you can get a good punch, good control on that. Or good pinch, not punch, sorry. Then I did leg press. Leg press is a little easier on the body than squats, but I might do squats, but just lighter weight. So with these workouts, I kind of forgot to mention, I do every body part every day now until basically a day or two before the show, and then I stop lifting altogether. But every day I do a different workout for that muscle category. For example, I did flat dumbbell press today. Tomorrow I may do incline or decline or something like that. It is still something to hit the chest, but a different variation. So after leg press, I did dumbbell lateral raise. It's just a good one to kind of hit the side heads on your laterals. I feel like you kind of hit the front when you're doing your bench press, so when you're doing the flat dumbbells, so that kind of hits the front. And tomorrow I'll probably do something that hits a little bit more the rear delt or the rear shoulder. Let's see, barbell curls. Again, you can just put a nice squeeze on it as you go up. You can control the tempo really nice. Go kind of slow. Make sure you get the blood in there. You don't have to go real heavy, and you can still get a really good pump on it. Tricep push down. A little bit safer, I guess, than the skull crushers at the moment. Again, you can just, I use, a lot of times I switch it up, but a lot of times I like to use the free rope, because you can then activate each arm separately at the bottom of the press. You can kind of squeeze each arm individually a little bit more than if it was a solid bar. But I do switch it up still. I'll use the solid bar sometimes. Walking lunges, again, just getting the blood into the legs. I'm not going to be growing right now. I'm not going to be increasing my strength right now. I'm too depleted. So just getting the blood in the legs, making them work, making them fill up a little bit.
I know we talked about this off camera, but when would, for your last leg workout, what the last time you'll train your legs before your show?
I usually stop a couple days out from my show. I know we kind of talked about this earlier. I'll probably do my last leg day either, since the show is on Sunday, I'll probably do it either Tuesday or Wednesday and give it a couple days off so that my legs can kind of just mellow out, heal, and not be so filled up. That way they aren't filled with blood or torn up, and so that they show a little better at the show. Is that a myth or wives' tale to stop a few days out? I don't know. It seems that everybody kind of follows that program, so I do too. Why chance it, I guess? I don't know if it's kind of silly to do or if it doesn't really help at all, but I've always done that, so I still follow it.
I'm sorry, and you can continue on.
I don't think you got it on camera, but I did standing calf raises at 1.2. Again, just getting the blood in there, making them pump. They kind of blow up a little bit. I do, again, I go slow, steady pace on those. I don't put as much weight as I can and jump like I see so many people do. They load as many plates as they can on it and just kind of almost bounce the entire workout. It kind of defeats the purpose of working your calves, I think, anyway. And maybe I'm wrong, but I feel that if you go a little bit less weight and actually control it and go all the way down, all the way up, and a controlled and full squeeze each way, it works. My calves always feel like they've worked 10 times more doing that than if I just loaded a ton of weight. And then I finished the workup with some crunches. Abs obviously are made in the kitchen, as the saying goes. It's all in the diet. But I still like to throw abs in now and then. I don't do a crazy amount of them, but I like to put some in. Today was just on the bench, but a lot of times I'll do hanging abs or Russian twists or decline abs. Just a different variation all the time, just to kind of work them in different angles and hit a few of the different ab muscles at different angles and different tones.
What's your cardio like now, bud?
Right now I do 45 minutes fasted cardio in the morning before work, and then after work I work out, and then I do another 20 minutes. And mostly I do stairs right now just because it's easier on my joints, I feel. When I try and run treadmill, it tends to be a little more rough on the joints, and it tends to hurt a little more. So it's just a little easier to do the stair machine for me.
And what's your diet been like, as well as your off-season diet, bud?
Excuse me. As far as my diet goes, each week or every 2 weeks it kind of changes based on how my body's coming in and looking. If I'm still dropping weight, I tend to keep it the same. It isn't until I sort of stop or that weight drop kind of slows down and stops progressing, that I then will change it up again. I keep a very strict count on my fats, carbs, and protein, obviously, like any bodybuilder does, come diet season. When I'm off season, I still measure everything out a lot of the times. Mostly part of it out of just being used to doing that for so long. I'm just used to measuring out my meals, that I do it all the time just out of habit. But it also helps me control my eating, because otherwise I don't know how much I should stop, and I would just keep eating all the time. So I a lot of times will have someone, I'll either measure them out or make sure someone measures it out for me. Like, here, you give me a plate full and tell me what I should eat, because I'm going to eat everything otherwise. I stay pretty lean in the off season. I started, like I said, I think I said it earlier, 220, and I've dropped down to 200. So I like to stay pretty lean, mostly because I just get paranoid and freak out if I started putting on too much weight. It's always been a weird thing for me, I guess, worried about putting on too much weight. But at the same time, I know you got to put some weight on in order to grow and get size. So I have to, it's an internal conflict, I guess, of always fighting to stay lean, but at the same time putting on some weight for some growth. So I try and walk that fine line between too lean and too much weight. I kind of try and walk the line where I got enough weight that I can grow, but at the same time still look and stay lean, that so that I look like I still use the gym once in a while.
What is what body parts did you focus on during your last off season, but leading into this year to try? Was there anything you're focusing to try and bring up, or?
Oh yeah, obviously everything, but I'm always trying to improve everything. But this year I focused on my back a lot, especially my lat spread. I was trying to get that wider. My back and my hamstrings as well. I always have a hard time getting my hamstrings to come in as really tight for my show, so I worked on that a lot. My arms and my arms I left alone pretty much, and my quads and calves I kind of left alone this year. I mean, I still worked them, but just not as much. I focused a lot on the back, some on my hams, and then I will focus some on my chest as well. My chest seems in the past years to be a little bit flat or small comparatively to my shoulder size. And so this year I tried to bring my chest up a little bit more to match the shoulders connected to them, so that I have a more balanced look. I always try and shoot for that even symmetry, balanced look. That's what I always try and aim for. Not so that I don't have something that's overpowering everything else. I want everything to kind of just flow and look like it's supposed to be together and put together that way.
Yeah. How did you get into the fitness industry, bud, and what drove you into doing shows and stuff like that?
Originally, peer pressure. When I moved to Lansing, I didn't know anybody here. I came from the Thumb, which is a bunch of farmland, country land, and I moved here after graduating college, and I knew nobody, so I was in the gym all the time because I had nothing else to do, and I'm used to working on the farm, and I had an office job now, so when I got out of the office, I had to vent that energy somehow. So I would go to the gym a lot, and so obviously a lot of my friends came from the gym then, and some of them had been competitors previously, and they always would egg me on and try and get me to do a show, and I was always like, oh no, I'm not going to do it. Eventually they just wore me down and kept egging me on, and then nobody would believe that I was all natural. So so finally one day I just said, all right, fine, I'm going to do a show, but the show has to be drug tested so that I can prove I'm not on anything. So I I dieted down and I did a drug-tested show. And then I just kind of started doing more and more shows, and then people still weren't believing me, so then I found shows that did drug testing and polygraphs, and did a few of those, and then I just kept going from there. It kind of, I guess, became routine to just every year, all right, it's diet season, here we go.
Yeah.
And I just started dieting down and started doing shows.
Yeah. Did you play sports in high school or anything, bud? Or no, you were on a farm, you worked on a farm, so you probably were pretty built up anyway, just from the workout.
I played soccer and I played football in high school. That's all I really had the time for, because I was always helping on the farm. So I was able to do football in the fall, and then in the summer, I would play soccer for an intramural league, AYSO. So summer I'd play soccer, and fall I'd play football, and that's pretty much all the sports I did. And then in college, I didn't play anything because I was working full time, and then taking full time classes. So I didn't really have much time for any sports, and I didn't lift a ton in college either. I would fit it in as much as I could, but I was always so busy with work and schoolwork that I didn't have much time. But as soon as I graduated college and moved to Lansing, like I said, I didn't know anybody here, so I had nothing to do. So I would just get out of work and go to the gym for 2-3 hours and just work out and hang out, and that's kind of, it became a habit, and that's now kind of my second home.
Yeah, kind of sticking to it now. Anyone you'd like to thank, bud?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Amy for always. She's my girlfriend. She competes as well. She's Amy Watson. She's an IFBB pro figure girl. Her and I both kind of started competing at the same time, and we kind of just egged each other on, I guess. There have been times where we dieted at the same time, which is like just a nuclear bomb waiting to explode at home with one of us. You got to walk on eggshells now and then, because you never know who might blow up. And then we've done times where one is on diet, one is not, but it seems in the past, is it 8 years? Someone's always dieting at some point, so that keeps the other one in check a little bit, so that they don't get too crazy and just eat everything that they see. And that's kind of why I was going to take this year off, but she ended up competing, and we were both going to take the year off, but she ended up getting talked into doing a pro show, and so she started dieting down. Well, when she's dieting, I'm basically dieting because I'm eating the same foods. So I said, all right, well, if I'm going to be eating the diet food, I might as well just man up and diet and do a show. So here I am, 1 week out.
How long do you diet for your shows? About how many weeks out do you?
Usually I try to do 15 to 16 weeks. There have been times where I started a little late at like 13 weeks. But yeah, usually it's about 15 weeks.
Okay, good deal. Well, you're looking great, bud. The best I've ever seen you. Good luck at the show. I hope you do well, and we'll catch up with you later in the year, buddy.
Oh, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to see you, Jeff. I always look forward to seeing you and hanging out, and look forward to getting some sushi with you after the show.
Sounds good, man. Good luck.